I'm already thinking, how am I going to thumbnail this in any way that isn't just instantly a gigantic spoiler? Oh well.
It's true. I had business in the understage passage because of the upcoming trick. It was the fire trick, right? The one Mr. Rios was supposed to do. That's right. It's a very dangerous trick, so I had to make sure we were prepared for it. It was in the script, and I really wanted to see it, but I couldn't because the extra.
We already know the fire bucket says that you did it wrong.
Shut up, you're gonna give it away. Anyway, I was real busy. Yeah, way too busy to have a chance to kill Mr. Rios.
Well, that was certainly different.
Now how's that for a flawless testimony and alibi?
Perfectly symmetrical magic. Whoa! Grab that booty!
Our magic is real. It's not a trick or a gimmick. It's as real as someone touching my butt.
Just touching the butt.
Oh my, she's floating. Ooh.
Your Honor. You can see she's being held up from below. And what a below it is. You're supposed to pretend you didn't see that. Isn't something called etiquette? But no, observing things is, I got this thing, and that's like my whole, I can't help it. Whenever I see a contradiction or inconsistency, I just have to point it out.
Now then, the defense may begin its cross-examination.
Struggling to hold up that Betty booty.
It's true. I had business in the understage passage because of the upcoming trick.
If you were in the understage passage, which need I remind you was the crime scene, then you most certainly should be counted as a potential suspect.
But I don't have any motive to kill Mr. Rios.
But you, by your own admission, hate Miss Wright. When she was arrested as a suspect, you said it was what she deserved. So you believe the witness killed a man simply due to her dislike of Trucy Wright? As a motive, is that not improbable at best? But what if her hatred caused her to bear a strong sense of malice against my client?
Look, Trucy just made me mad, that's all. I mean, even though she's younger than me, she's got so much skill and popularity. And she's cute besides. Girl, she makes me so mad I wish she would drop dead. Big Betty, don't talk like that. Shut your yap!
So is it just simple jealousy?
Say, Betty, that next trick you were getting ready for. It was the fire trick, right? The one Mr. Rios was supposed to do?
Hold it! Yes, the fire trick. Bonnie, we're trying to get Betty's testimony right now, so...
Oh, right, I'm sorry.
You can step down if you'd like.
I'm worried about Betty, though. She's my sister. She can lose her temper and say awful things sometimes. Hey, what are you, my mother? Don't forget, I'm the older sister. You got that by a good 2 minutes. Yeah, I got it.
I guess I'd worry about Mount Betty constantly blowing her top of our Bonnie, too. So, Betty, you were down under stage getting ready for the fire trick, were you?
That's right, it's a very dangerous trick, so I had to make sure we were prepared for it.
Hold it! And you were taking every necessary precaution, is that right?
Of course, every precaution. After all, it's a very dangerous trick that uses real fire. I mean, we had to be ready in case the curtain caught on fire or something, right?
By the time people realize it wasn't a part of the act, it might be too late, huh? If by people you mean Athena Sykes, then yes.
Wow, a fire trick. That sounds really impressive. I want to see a fire trick. Someone light something on fire.
You'll be able to go up and smoke, old man. I bet people would mistake you for a cue ball or something without it.
Oh, a cue ball?
Betty, don't be rude to the judge. But Betty, you know that fire trick? It was in the script and I really wanted to see it, but I couldn't because of the accident.
Hold it!
I see the fire trick was part of the script. It seems Mr. Rios was scheduled to perform it later in the show. Did you get to see him practice it beforehand?
No, during rehearsal he said he didn't feel well, so he couldn't breathe any fire for me.
That's odd. Wait, let me get this straight. He couldn't breathe fire because he wasn't feeling well?
My magical powers appear to be on the wane today. That's what he said.
So it was just a part of his usual, the great mysterious shtick?
It's really too bad I didn't get to see the trick because of the incident. Which was completely unexpected, of course. Hey!
Yeah, we know. We know you know that the trick was never gonna happen.
Shut up, you're gonna give it away? Anyway, I was real busy.
Hold it!
Give what away? Is there something free? What exactly do you mean by you're gonna give it away? You're in court. We got it all on the transcript. There's probably a stenographer somewhere.
See, Bonny, you and your big mouth. Now, Lobster Boy wants to know what we're talking about. I'm sorry.
Yes, well, if you were preparing for the next magic trick, I'm sure you wouldn't have had the time to commit murder.
Well, looks like the old geezer isn't senile just yet, huh? I bet you'll live a good long life. Unless somebody gets mad at you.
Oh, I plan to be sitting up here at least another 10 years.
10 more years? I don't know about that. What did we discuss about inner monologues, Athena? Keep them inner. Keep them inner. Keep them inner. In one of the games.
Well, more power to you, I guess. In any case, I was so busy I didn't have the time to offer anybody. Yeah, way too busy to have the chance to kill Mr. Rios.
Hold it!
Are you just trying to cover for Betty?
No, of course not. I believe in my sister. I know she'd never murder anyone.
But you think my client would?
No, I believe in Trucy, too. I know she'd never murder anyone either.
Well, we just ran out of suspects in that case.
Yes, but... See, you should have just kept your mouth shut, dummy. You're making a fool of yourself. Just be nice and quiet like a good little bunny, got it? Alright, I guess I'm no help.
Oh boy. It's impossible to get anything out of Bonny with Betty right there. So, Betty was busy getting ready for the next trick to have time for murder, huh? There must be some way to prove that that wasn't the case. Alright, we didn't get any new inconsistencies, but that's because we kind of knew straight away that I had to make sure we were prepared for it. Let's see. I really wanted to see it, but I couldn't because of the accident. It's a very dangerous trick. We're gonna present the bucket. They were not getting, if they were getting prepared, they were doing a very poor job. Because there was no Wawa in the bucket. I hate to break this to you, Betty, but there's a big flaw in your testimony. As big as the one in that floating trick you did earlier.
Oh, harsh words. Well, let me tell you something, forehead boy. No one has ever figured out how we do our teleportation trick.
Except he did. No one except me, you mean?
Well, we have even better tricks up our sleeves. Huh? We do? I told you to keep it zipped.
Now, don't fight, you two. Mr. Justice, what's this about a flaw in the testimony?
The script has this to say about the fire trick. This will be dangerous. Make sure the fire bucket is ready. However, we found the fire bucket lying empty backstage except for a layer of dust.
Ouch!
You didn't even attempt to get ready for the next trick, did you, Betty?
You got me! Ooh.
Those umbrellas, they must be just built to just like flip in and out wherever you need them.
Betty the Fame, you will explain yourself.
There's nothing to explain. Come on, Betty, we can't hide it any longer. We might as well tell them. Shut up! You can barely take care of yourself! Don't try and tell me what to do!
Well, if neither of you will explain, then I guess I'll have to. The reason Betty didn't prepare for the fire trick is because she is afraid of fire. She knew the show wouldn't go on. She had already planned for that. You didn't prepare for the fire trick because you knew, didn't you? You knew that the body would be found and that the show would then be canceled.
Don't be ridiculous, you insignificant speck of a man. I'm gonna yank these lame bangs of yours off. Is that what you want? Just grab them and yank them off.
He's got his own little bunny bangs. Whatever, they can grow back. Now stop stalling and just tell us the truth already.
I can't even reveal my secrets. I'm a magician.
You have been chasing the shadow of an illusory culprit, Defense. And having chanced upon a convenient target, you have let yourself get carried away.
Huh?
Exactly. Where's your proof, huh?
And yet, I concede that the witness's tastes for false words has also been proven. I advise you to confine your deceitful trickery to your magic act, witness.
Deceitful trickery!
As your court-appointed therapist, I'd like to add something here, Betty.
You finally let yourself be who you really are.
But if you continue to hide behind lies, you'll just be imprisoning your heart all over again.
But all of these questions mean you're trying to put me in prison, for real. So I'll be behind bars either way.
Does that mean you're admitting your guilt?
Of course not. I can't believe you people. Every one of you thinks I did something I didn't do. You! Lobster boy, cue ball geezer, head case brat, Cerberus monk.
Cue ball? Geezer? What does that mean? Do you think I like to play pool? Because I do.
Headcase brat? Really? I'm not a brat. I got my mom had a thing in it.
But Betty, calm down. Come on now, deep breaths, just like we practiced. Look, I'm not the murderer, I tell ya.
Then how did you know the show would be called off before the fire trick?
I told you, we can't reveal our secrets. We're under contract.
Contract? What is she talking about? Be that as it may, you're obviously a suspect in this case.
I'm beginning to see the karmic threads that make up the intricate tapestry that is this case.
Huh?
Allow me to summarize your assertions, Defense. First, that the victim was killed in the understage passage. And second, that the witness and the accused are the only two who could have done it.
Exactly. What's more, Betty knew that the body would be found, and that the magic show would then be called off. Therefore, it's reasonable to conclude that Betty killed the victim under stage.
But what if Betty knew the show would be called off for some other reason?
Like what?
In the course of my investigation, I found it strange that the dragon set piece fell when it did. That, in conjunction with the body tumbling from the coffin in such a dramatic fashion, all seemed too perfect for mere happenstance. It was as though the entire chain of events had been planned out in advance.
Ouch!
Planned out?
After deciding to take this case, I scrupulously studied everything I could about the mass media in this country. I watched lots of television. I read the newspaper, old news reports. I even browsed tabloid magazines.
How very industrious of you. I'm impressed. Do you want to talk about the tabloids? Because I've been reading them myself, and well...
During this process, I learned about a strange practice favored by the TV world. A practice called the hidden camera prank. Betty and Bonny, you knew about this, did you not? About the dead body appearing, the set piece falling, the show being suspended. You two were informed of this plan by Take-Two TV in advance, correct?
Is that true?
Betty, please, let's tell him now. I can't hold it in anymore. Dang it, fine. You got us. Everything the prosecutor said is true. The TV station paid us to cooperate with them on this plan. It was all a prank. A big setup planned out in advance. Mr. Rios showing up dead in the coffin. The set piece falling down. It was all completely scripted.
The dead body was scripted? It was all
a prank? Bonny, is this really true?
Yes, Mr. Rios was supposed to pretend to be dead. That's how it was supposed to go.
So, he was in on it too?
That's right. He was supposed to show up dead in the coffin. And then the set piece would fall down, Juicy would be shocked and start to panic. That's how the prank script went.
What? What the heck kind of a prank is that?
But we never thought he'd actually wind up dead. Yeah, that was the only thing that was different from the script. Poor Mr. Rios.
I'm so completely lost right now.
Well, Betty and Bonny, it certainly sounds like you have some explaining to do.
All right. I guess desperate times call for desperate measures. Just this once, we'll share how it was done with you. So listen carefully, you'll never hear this kind of thing anywhere else.
She have a bat? Ah! Ha! Where'd that come from? You've had bunnies coming out of your head this whole time.
After our teleportation trick, I went down onto the stage. When Mr. Rios' body appeared from the coffin on stage, it was time for Betty to do her job in the understage passage. That's right, I used the remote control for the winch connected to the dragon set piece. And made it fall down.
Okay.
And just before the dragon fell, I called Juicy to the backstage so she wouldn't get hurt. After that, the plan was for Mr. Rios to come back to life in front of a panicked Juicy. He was supposed to laugh and fly up and away. That was how it was scripted anyway. But for some reason, he really did turn up dead, so he kind of just stayed on the ground.
What kind of sick joke is that?
It sounds like a terribly mean-spirited prank to me. The poor defendant was trying to do her magic show.
I guess so. I'm sorry, Juicy. Whatever. It was all the Ratings Raja idea anyway.
Yeah, sounds like just the kind of thing a guy like him would come up with.
This is the prank plan script we got from the Ratings Raja.
Page 4 of our evidence now. Just in case we didn't have enough stuff yet.
Dang it, you made us break our contract. Now we won't get paid.
But where did this all leave us? Who killed the victim? And when?
Yes, exactly. Those are the key questions. If Mr. Rios was only pretending to be dead in the coffin as a part of the prank, then when he was under stage, there would still be life within him. And if that is the case, then Betty, who was also under stage, may be excluded from our list of suspects. Witness, was the victim alive up until he entered the coffin?
Oh, well, now that we spilled the beans, we might as well show you this video.
Greetings, viewers. It is I, the great Mysterious. We are currently in the middle of Trucy's escape trick. Having snuck through the understage passage undetected, I am now hiding backstage, preparing to play a little prank on Trucy. I'm about to hide in the coffin, which Trucy will stab with her rubber sword. And then the coffin opens. Ho-ho! I will be in it, acting as though I've met my maker. Can you imagine the look on Trucy's face then? Ho-ho! I can hardly wait. He's about to hide in the coffin.
Butterfly in the sky, it would seem the threads of karmic destiny have led us to the truth.
Huh?
The victim passed through the understage where Betty DeFam was, and came up into the backstage area. We know this because Mysterious appeared to be backstage when he shot the video we saw.
It appears that way, yes.
And defense, you proposed the following, did you not? What if the victim was killed under the stage before being put into the coffin? But then what about this video? This footage was taken just before Mysterious entered the coffin.
Oh, so does that mean?
Yes, it is horrible, but true. The tragedy did indeed play out right there on the stage. Went into the coffin where Mysterious was hiding. Trucy Wright thrust her blade.
See? Told you so.
So are you saying the incident was a tragic accident that happened during a prank?
It would be an accident if the accused had no knowledge of the prank beforehand. So let us ask the accused herself. Miss Wright, did you have prior knowledge of the prank?
What? I'm here? Oh, well, hello. Hi, everyone. Hello. Yes, it's been a while. Tell him, Trucy, you didn't know anything about it, right?
Of course I didn't. I didn't know a single thing about it.
Still think you can play innocent, do you? In that case, you leave me little choice but to present this piece of evidence.
What?
It looks like some sort of note. Someone read it to me immediately.
That's...
I found this note in the dressing room after the incident. At the time, I did not understand what it meant, but all is clear to me now.
Bonnie, get the video camera after Mysterious comes tumbling out. What's this?
Let's see. It says, get the video camera after Mysterious comes tumbling out.
It is a note signed by the accused.
Is this the same way that we got the signature from the other thing? Is this going to be evidence of her forged signature? Yeah, because the other thing we know about.
Instructing Bonnie to collect Mysterious's video camera from him, it seems.
We framed her in 2 different ways?
I don't get it. It doesn't make any sense. I found it in the dressing room before the show. When I saw it, I realized that Juicy knew about the prank.
It does bear her signature, I'll give you that much. Okay. What a tangled web we weave.
So the defendant had prior knowledge of the prank?
It would appear so, yes. When she learned about the plan to trick her, she decided to use it to her own advantage.
Why would you know about the prank, write evidence of knowing about the prank, and then try to make an accident that happened during that? That doesn't make any sense.
So she thrust the steel sword into the coffin, where the victim stood chuckling to himself. Is that not what happened, Miss Wright?
Of course not, and I didn't write or sign that note.
Ah, but the handwriting matches yours. All of the evidence and testimony points to you being the culprit.
But I didn't do it. It wasn't me.
Then explain the existence of this note. You can do that, can you not?
I can't explain it. I didn't write it, so I don't understand. I didn't kill Mr. Reese. You have to believe me.
The silence is deafening.
Continue struggling against the threads of your own karma, if you wish, accused. Even as you are inescapably caught in the web of fate you've spun for yourself. Miss Wright, it is time to resign yourself to your fate.
No, I didn't do it.
Ha! I know it! That sweet-looking girl a murderer! She took all of us in with that act of hers.
I told you I knew she was a homicidal little witch from the start.
But I didn't do it. I really didn't.
Why doesn't anybody believe me?
Shut up, you killer!
We won't fall for that anymore! We've all seen the television! This is bad.
Your Honor, I suggest we put an end to this tragedy now. give your official ruling and let us offer the victim's soul the last rites it deserves.
Very well. I suppose I have no other choice. This court hereby finds the defendant, Trucy Ryan.